Hola chicas, I just want you to have just work on a little comprehension just because I've been off the last 2 days. So if you go to página 38 y 39, there's just a little comprehension here on playing Gaelic football in Galicia. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to have a look at the questions on page 39, but I'm just going to highlight some key vocab for you, okay? Um, you don't need to send this in to me because it's you can just do it. You don't need to send it to me in Google Classroom. Just do it and I'll correct it whenever I'm back, okay? So we're just going through the title here. Galicia juega al fútbol irlandés. So Galicia playing Irish football. So this is the Galician region up in northwestern Spain. And then the title here is La selección gallega, el primer partido internacional del juego Galicia. So as you're saying here, the Galician team are playing their primer partido, their first international match. Okay, their first international match. Okay, I'm just going to read through the first little bit for you. Okay, so hace 2 años un grupo de jóvenes brigantanos, that's like yeah. So these are personas de Coruña, people from Coruña, the city there. Okay, so these are people they un parte fundamental descubrían, so they discovered un parte fundamental de la vieja Irlanda, part of an essential or a fundamental part de la vieja Irlanda, Old Ireland, el fútbol gálico. Ahora, now, estos chavales juegan el deporte más seguido. Más seguido is the most followed de todo Irlanda. So now these chavales is like young people. These young people play the most followed sport in all of Ireland. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to highlight some vocab that I think is important to it. Okay. First thing I want you to highlight here is just to go through this a little bit. Filos de Brogan, this is the name of the team. Okay, Filos de Brogan, yeah. Así se hacen llamar, so that's what they're called. That's el nombre de equipo hace referencia de al mito, so makes reference to al mito is like a myth. Okay, conecta los dos finistres europeos. Finistre is like a peninsula to both European peninsulas. Okay. I've just highlighted here. Okay, una mezcla. Una mezcla is a mix. Una mezcla is a mix of. So it here is saying is se puede resumir. We can summarize it como like or as a mix of football y rugby. As a mixture of football and rugby. Okay. Es el deporte más seguido en Irlanda, the most followed sport in Ireland, con las mayores cuotas de pantalla. Una pantalla is a screen. Quotas here is, I think, the best way to translate here is like the highest or biggest viewing figures or television figures del país. Okay. Just to go over here, I've got here se puede one can. This is our one can here. Okay, se puede one can. Tirar, translate in this sense here is throw. Tirar can also be fire, but you can also pass or throw the ball. Now, portería is a net, so you can throw it into like a football net. O a palos, so that's going in between the posts. Palo is a stick or a post. Here, saying here, para moverlo se combinan, to move it. So here is chatting to the ball. Okay, this lo is referring to el balón. Okay, so to move it, you can use los pies, the feet, obviously, y con las manos, your hands. Y los pases se hacen con la bota, and you can also make passes with la bota, with the boot. La bota are boots, football boots. I'll just highlight it down here, that what's here is que cuenta. Que cuenta means it accounts for. Yeah, que cuenta con más de 800 socios. So it accounts for, has more than 80,000 socio members in total Irlanda, all of Ireland. Okay. I've also highlighted here a pesar de todo. Yeah, a pesar de todo means despite. So a pesar de, despite everything. Okay. Ningún translates here as none or nobody or no cobra nada, receives no payment. Cobrar, yeah, doesn't get any payment. Okay. And it's just, I've highlighted here as well, la mañana siguiente, the following morning. So siguiente here is following. So the morning following the final, todos están trabajando. They're always work. They're just back working. They're back working. Okay. Last little word here I've got, I want to highlight in this paragraph here, is gasolina. Gasolina can translate as fuel. It also means petrol. But I'm just to translate this little bit here. So, su gasolina es la pasión deportiva. So here is saying their fuel or their motivation is sporting passion. Okay. So gasolina translate here as fuel or petrol, but you're just saying like their the fuel driving this passion or their motivation that drives this is their sporting passion. Okay, perfecto. The next little short paragraph here in 3, in párrafo 3, I've just highlighted one little word here. It's quite not a bad. There's 2 words on there. First one I highlighted is casi todo. Casi todo translates as almost everyone or almost so. Casi here is almost. Okay. Casi here translated as almost, so pero casi todo es, almost all of them, están formados. Formados was like made or created by irlandeses inmigrados, were formed or created by Irish immigrants. Okay, good job. I just want to highlight as well, sorry. Propia is own. Con una liga propia, so they created their own league. Una liga propia, they created their own league. Okay. Let's have a look at paragraph 4. I have just highlighted a few little words here. First one I want to highlight is acaba de. Acaba de means to just have. Acaba de means just to just have. So the next word I have here is just acaba de. They just have. So remember, acabar de is to just have something, okay? So here saying acaba de debutar contra Bretaña, okay? So here saying they just have debuted against, or their first match was against, okay? Y los gallegos salieron victoriosos. They came out victorious. Okay. Just to make a note here, just to say, lo que sorprendió a solo los países de Benelux. So here saying here, only the Benelux. So Benelux, so países Benelux, so countries from Benelux. Benelux is any countries from Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, okay, habían jugando antes un torneo. So these countries were the only had played before a tournament, okay. But these selecciones, so the team members were formado por. These teams were mostly made up or formed by Irish immigrants, okay. Un torneo, here's a competition, okay. Is it okay? It's just going to paragraph 5, the last bit of paragraph 5, okay. Here's Filios es el único equipo de España formado sin apenas irlandeses, okay. So here's your sin, okay. I want you to look up your apenas irlandeses, a big clue there, okay. Hay varios equipos de fútbol gálico en España, pero el único compuesto, so it's the only one in Spain that's made up of by jugadores nativos. So only made up by kind of native Galicians, okay? Los de restos son irlandeses. The rest of them are, so the other teams are made up of Irish, okay? I just had it up here as well. There's 2 things I want to highlight up here as well. Here's saying la propia existencia de la estripe celta. Estripe is like a race. I can't see that there. Estripe is like a race or like a lineage, like your races and say you're like the Irish race or the English race or whatever, yeah. So that's to do like your race or your background, yeah. Quizás translate here is nunca, okay. Okay, quizás is nunca, okay. The last 2 here is un nuevo lazo sanguíneo. Now, nuevo is new. Lazo can be translated as like a bond, okay. Sanguíneo, blood. So saying it's like there's a new I says blood bond or a kind of new bloodline, okay? El Deporte de Rayo. So that's like a blood bond or a blood lineage. I'm just saying there's like a new link, okay, that's been formed. Yeah, El Deporte de Rayo, okay? So that's kind of the most vocab. Just make a note of vocab into your copy, okay? I want you to try these questions here. What's it like football? don't get paid, so what motivates them? Who makes up the memberships in most of GA teams? What game was why? Yeah, why was the game played on 20th July? Historic occasion. Watching you give a Gaelic football and Gaelic. Okay, so try those. These ones here. I want you to try on. Okay, so ATNTL for the okay. Una combinación de. We've seen that. PCA. Okay. Here's the transit D&E for you to help you. Ganaron. So ganaron can transit as two things. This is your anything with ARON. This is your el pasado, your past tense. So they won or they earned. Okay. Ganaron. They won or they earned. So it can either mean they won a match or they earned money. Okay, that's a verb. Ganar has two meanings. The last one here, tal vez, translates as maybe. Tal vez, they maybe did something. All right. And then the last little bit I want you to do, you can't really see in the camera, I want you to do 3A, B, C. So translate them into English. Okay. And put them so translate translate those three at the bottom. Okay. You don't have to send this in to me in Google Classroom. Just do it in your copy and make a note of any of the new vocab. There'll surely be other words I haven't translated. Maybe have a look at that. Have a look at that as well. Do them into your copy, and I'll correct it whenever I get back. And just about your little written assignment, you can either. I prefer if you do it in a Google Doc. Just be much easier for me to correct. If you really don't want to do it, you can either do it in your copy and send a photograph of it to me, or some people have sent me in scans which have come out all right. So either of that way, but preferably the Google Doc. And we'll have a look at these questions again. You don't need to send it in to me. I'm going to send it in as material on Google Classroom. Okay, so muchas gracias, chicas. Disfruten tus días libres. Enjoy your free days, and nos vemos pronto. Gracias.